Hey everyone, this is Nikachu and I am here with my brother as we try to keep the spirit of Merfolk alive in Standard. I'm going to thank our sponsor, the manabase.com. If you want to step up your game, go check out Constructed Criticism by Spencer Howland on the manabase.com. So we have a perfectly fine hand here. We're going to keep this turn. We don't have any turn 1 play, but we do have a turn 2 play in Metallic Mimic. We might even go into another Metallic Mimic and then start playing like giant things on the following turns. We're going to declare Spirits. Hopefully this thing doesn't get Fatal Pushed. Excellent. Just as I hoped. So this could be Black-Green Constrictor, and it is. So our hand is fine against that. Could be better. Nebelgast Herald is really where we want to be above anything else.
Don't tread on me.
So what if you play the next big thing? So let's say I play Metallic Mimic. So if one or more effects, so there's this stupid 3 mana thing, which is really annoying. This is a spot where I really wish I had Rattle Chain so I could start playing things at instant speed. Because if I just play 3 mana pass, pretty strongly represents that as Spell Queller. And we're really far away from playing 2 things on turn 2. On turn 4. Because we have a bunch of 3-drops in our hand. It would be ideal to play Bygone Bishop right now. This hand is not very well set up to beat this run out. I guess I'm just going to play a land, pass. Because it would be really important to get rid of a Walking Ballista, even a Walking Ballista for 1. Do you know what? If they do nothing and pass, I think I'd be fine with that too. So if they attack for 2, I'm going to attack for 2. It's not ideal to eat up something like this, but it's better than getting nothing. I need to get some tempo in my favor here.
Lunchtime.
So they attack us for 2. We're going to attack them back for 5. We have another Spell Queller. That's fantastic.
What can't Spell Queller suck up?
5 mana or more cards.
So no Emrakul.
No Emrakul, no. A little too much for the Spell Queller. See that vase? It's only so big. Emrakul's way bigger than that thing.
You should be able to chain them together. 2 can suck up 1.
I think I'm fine with that card. I really want to like counter a Grasp from Darkness or a Fatal Push or something like that. Or what's it called? Walking Ballista. So like let's say we eat this thing up.
Snake meat is unclean.
Guess we hit you for 6. Sure. And that's the manabase.com. Get dunked on instant replay. Maybe you just don't have removal.
When we were in elementary school.
Oh, this is excellent. This is excellent. It's exactly what I'm talking about. We can like unsummon this one and then respell Queller again. This is going to be fantastic.
We were in elementary school. The 5th grade teacher had a snake. And that snake just died a few months ago. That was a very old snake.
Story time with Nikachu's brother.
That's right.
So we could definitely try to go for the win.
How many years was that?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Couldn't be that far. Let's try to work
So even Yahini's expertise won't work here. Actually, if they play Yahini's expertise, I could like just bring back one of my spell quellers and let everything die. And then just spell queller the very last thing.
This snake was at least 20 years old.
Walking Ballista for 1. So Walking Ballista for 1 gives it 1 more counter. That many counters plus 1 of each of those kind of counters. Put on that permanent instead. If you would get... Okay.
Somebody step on me.
So my spell quellers are way out of range for this Walking Ballista. But this guy doesn't care. Says I got a Walking Ballista. Sure. I do not care about any of this stuff. Sure. And this is definitely one of the matchups I want to see. This is a matchup where I feel confident in. I just got a lot of ways that I can tempo my opponents out. So let's get in for what appears to be some amount of damage. And Fatal Push isn't... Well, actually, Fatal Push is on the table because they can Walking Ballista me, get rid of the Walking Ballista and whatever. And we have enough mana now to play the Metallic Mimic.
Naming.
Spirit. Could also screw around with him and name Bird.
Boeba. Well, here comes the miracle. He needs it. What could he swing with? He's very confident.
Down 1 life. Yeah, you get a counter. This is like not enough to kill a spell queller. Yeah, that is not going to get you anywhere. That's 8 damage. It's very far away from winning. Excellent. So what do we want against this deck? Not much, to be honest. I think I have everything that I want. This is a matchup. Actually, I have notes. Where's my notes?
You write them on your hand.
No, that's easy. They're not going to let me do that at the Pro Tour. Definitely not going to let me do that at the Pro Tour.
Get them tattooed on the back of your eyelids.
Spirit sideboard. I do not have one for this matchup. Not yet. I think I do nothing though. I do want to do some racing with always watching. Yeah, definitely want to do some racing with always watching. Attack and block. Definitely want to, like, Dusk and Dawn. Like, for example, in that game, nothing was over 3 power. Usually it's supposed to be. The most appealing card would be Declaration in Stone, but I really need always watching. I could get rid of Metallic Mimic. It's not ideal. But here's the thing, like, I've got the unsummons now and I really like them. Otherwise, I could take out unsummon for I could take out some Topplegeists. Like, this thing's not ideal. Okay, let's bring in some Declaration in Stones for the Topplegeists. There we go. We figured something out. 6 removal spells, love it. One mana, don't love it. Gonna have to mulligan this.
See if you mulligans first.
Well, I have to. The person on the play has resolves their mulligans first. They did mulligan, so we are gonna mulligan.
We went to 5.
They went to 5. We're gonna keep. Our hand is not ideal. If we were to draw, our hand is not ideal for a few things. We're not guaranteed a turn 3 play. Like, I don't even want this card. Spin it. We can draw something that can interact on turn 2. I would love it. It's not interact on turn 2. It is, however, something we can play on turn 2. So if, like, for example, if we draw Unsummon, I would love that. Unsummon would put... Oh! What? Love it. Okay, so now this game gets interesting. So I'm definitely not going to cast anything. Yeah, we'll just put another Prairie Stream in play, and we are going to pass the turn. We're going to unsummon basically anything. And hopefully that will give us enough room to tempo out our opponent from here. Interesting. Okay, Tireless Tracker. What do I want to get rid of? The Tireless Tracker or the Constrictor? Tireless Constrictor I can block. I can't really block this thing very well, so let's unsummon this thing. Always Watching is going to be fine somewhere in the near future. We're not there yet, though. And if our opponent does nothing, I'll just play a Spell Queller for no value. So if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you're gonna hear that I love this matchup. I want to play this matchup all day, and you're sort of seeing it right now. Their deck is actually pretty clunky, and we interact pretty well against it. And we are going to wait on... We'll use this one more Spell Queller, and then we will play probably a Metallic Mimic into...
the victory.
Maybe. We also have to be careful about Yahini's expertise. I don't have any protection against that. So our opponent did nothing. If our opponent does nothing, maybe we should do nothing. So I could play, for example, Metallic Mimic on the battlefield. That's not so bad. Or I could just do nothing again. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass. We're gonna force our opponent to do something, and we can Spell Queller it. And then when we play Always Watching, we'll be out of range of Yahini's expertise.
This is 2 for 2.
So yeah, we can keep passing the turn like this. That's fine. I'm in no rush. I know they're in the lead. I'm not going to be in the lead forever. It'd be nice if that land came into play untapped. Cannot. Because at some point we're going to get this Rattle Chains in play, and then we can just start spewing all these cards at, like, flash speed.
I risk it. Soak him up.
What to do here? So our opponent could very likely have... Well, for example, Fatal Push is offline, but Into Darkness is not. Or Into the Darkness? I don't know. Black, target creature gets -4/-4. So if I let this thing resolve, they have 4 power on the board, but then I can start getting power on the board next turn. I can start with... sort of Rattle Chains. I would love to get Rattle Chains in play right now. But what are the odds they have, say, something else? I have time to think. And that's why I got to use my brains here. So let's say we play Spell Queller on this. What's like the worst thing that could happen? They enter the darkness. They could into the darkness one of the spell quellers, maybe the one with Tireless Tracker on it. We have 2 power in play, and next turn we could play Always Watching into Selfless Spirit, and now we've got blockers. And then the next turn after that, we've got Metallic Mimic into Rattle Chain, and we have even more stuff. So it looks like if our opponent is going to play any removal spell, it's not going to be like game. It's not going to be game ending if it happens. And if our opponent does not have a removal spell, then it's just gravy. Oh, and it's gravy. That is called Gravy City.
Turkey or beef?
So I'll play the Always Watching. Now any removal spell is going to get hit by Rattle Chains. I very strongly believe we are way ahead in this game. No matter what our opponent does next turn, we're going to threaten to kill them on the following turn. And our opponent doesn't do anything about the spell quellers. Or if our opponent taps out, we can definitely flash in a Rattle Chains and then finish our opponent off. Like, Yihini's expertise just doesn't do anything here now.
Ooh, spooky ghost.
So it sort of looks like, yeah, that doesn't do anything. It's fine. Have a Cletus. See if I care. So Fatal Push is off the table. Yeah, I'm not going to block because that would turn Fatal Push on. And we're just going to... So this is a bit tricky. Because now if we play Rattle Chains, they could Fatal Push the Rattle. They could Fatal Push the Rattle Chains. That is legitimate. They would get a token, and also every time they well, I don't care about the sacrifice put 2+1/+1 counters on Cletus thing. So like, if they get a bunch of tokens, they could. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go for the win.
Gotta play the routes.
Yeah, something like that. I might just get completely blown out after this. No, okay, we win. Or do we? I assume we win. Yeah, whatever, we won the match. Alright, so that worked as we wanted it to. But there was some world where they Fatal Push the Rattle Chains. They get a token, and then we would just have to empty our hand, Metallic Mimic into Selfless Spirit, attack for 6 in the air, block the Cletus with probably Selfless Spirit, then sack it so that they wouldn't gain so much life from Lifelink, because they could have sacrificed the zombie that they would get to put like a bunch of +1/+1 counters on Cletus. That's not where we want it to be, but anyway. Cletus or no Cletus, we could have unsummoned them. Opponent mulligan down to 5, we mulligan down to 6. But I think this deck displayed that the black-green Constrictor deck is clunky enough that I think we steamroll them. I mean, I just murder this deck left, right, and center. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Screw you.
And your cards are the spirits of the creatures from this deck that you murder.
I guess so.
Whose ghosts are these?
It's true. The Merfolk.
Oh, maybe.
Look, this is I don't know what this is. Looks like this guy took a bullet for somebody. Looks like he took a lot of bullets for someone, to be honest. This is the Ghost of Aethervile. This is not a ghost, though, for the record. Hey, we forgot about learning about magic cards. So let's learn about some magic cards today by Larry W. Smith, Ph.D. He knows what he's talking about. What the hell is he talking about here? Okay, I'm already reading nonsense, so this has got to be a good chapter. The elements of a magic card. Each magic card contains several elements that identify its type and how it's played. As shown in figure 2.1, the elements are card name. the symbolic name of the card. There's nothing symbolic about it. It is just the name of the card. My name is Nikachu. I am symbolic of Nikachu. Cost, the amount of mana and type of mana required to cast the spell. That's fair, that's all good. Type of spell, the card type which lists the name of the spell that it casts. The card type which lists the name of the spell that it casts. That doesn't make any sense to me. No good. Bad description.
Things were different in 1994.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stupid rules in addition to the ones we have right now. Type of spell. The card type which lists the name of the spell that it casts. The card type which lists the name of the spell that it casts. I don't know, this is a very confusing explanation to all this stuff.
Well, he is a doctor.
And it keeps talking about the name of the spell.
He is a doctor.
Which lists the name. So it should be the type of card that it casts, not which lists the name of the spell. Card text. Description of what action, if any, is to be taken. Power/toughness, the amount of power, the attack, and toughness, the defense, that the card possesses. All creature cards must have a power toughness rating. The illustration, the artist drawing for the card. Card illustrator, the name of the artist who created the artwork. Okay, I'm done. We're done here. There's no strategy here. Learn magic cards. I guess we're learning about magic cards and in
like
incredible.
The real physical properties. Of
The guy's a physicist of some sort, or I don't know. Whatever. So we're going to thank our patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu and his brother playing Merfolk in Spirit in Standard.